Hi guys, welcome to the Antidote. We are in Shanghai right now on a chilly evening. Today was the news and the right outcome that Dr Bawa Garba was acquitted and she is now able to return to practice as a doctor. If you're not familiar with this case, this is about a junior doctor working as a paediatrician who was unfortunately involved in a death of a 6-year-old boy, which was extremely tragic. And we'd always want our thoughts and prayers to go to the family and friends of that young boy who died. The case is quite complicated. It revolves around him already having his own medical problems to start with, coming to the hospital, actually having sepsis, which wasn't picked up upon, which wasn't treated correctly, which wasn't done in the timely fashion, and he wasn't resuscitated properly. Now, the reason this was such a big case was because the doctor was given a manslaughter judgment. She was suspended, sentenced for 2 years and could have gone to prison. She was also suspended from the medical register, but the General Medical Council, which is the body as doctors we all have to sign up to, went out of their way to get her struck off the register. This affected all doctors in the UK. We were really upset about this because what this was doing was setting a precedent that if somebody dies in our care, or if something wrong happens, and something definitely wrong happened in this case, then we could go to prison as if we're criminals. And Dr Bawa Garba is not a criminal, and as her colleagues, we're not criminals. We go out of our way to treat patients and look after patients. This young boy, similar to other patients, don't come under our care healthy and then they end up dying. They came under our care because they were unwell and we're trying to save them. Now, many mistakes were made in this case, but no one speaks about the consultant who's meant to be responsible for Dr Bawa Garba's treatment and her duty as a paediatrician in that department. No one talks about the management staff of that hospital and how she was severely understaffed and undersupported with a skeleton workforce around her of doctors and nurses. No one talks about the nursing staff that were involved in this child's care. Is it because she's black? Is it because she wears a headscarf that they went after this poor doctor so aggressively? I'm really grateful that the right outcome was reached. And as doctors, this really hit home for us because we're always trying our best to look after our patients and to look after our community. We're going to be patients one day as well. Our parents are going to be patients one day as well. We want the best working alongside us. And if mistakes happen, which did happen in this case, let's learn from them. Let's talk about them. But to suggest that she went out of her way, above and beyond what is expected of a doctor, to harm this child is just ridiculous. And the amount of damage this has caused to her career, to her name, and to the profession is unbelievable. I think this is something we should all reflect on. What do you expect of your doctors? What kind of work do you do? What's your profession? Would you accept if you had a bad day at work and something went wrong? It means you could end up in jail? By all means, if we do patients harm, or if something goes wrong, we need to investigate that. We need a root cause analysis. We need to find out what could have been done better. Should the consultant have been there supporting Dr Bawa Garba when she was completely overstretched looking after several departments? Should the management team have stepped in and employed other doctors to support her in that case so that she wasn't running around doing several things on the go? What would you do? Would you accept going to prison because you've had a bad day? I know I wouldn't sign up to that. If somebody told me right now as a doctor, if a patient is unwell and under my care, or if I make a mistake, it means I could end up in jail and leave my wife and my family behind, I wouldn't do this job. I'll tell you that straight away. And I think many other doctors wouldn't accept those conditions as well. It's really touching. It really affected a lot of us, and I'm glad that the right outcome was reached here. Thanks for listening to The Antidote, and make sure you like, share and subscribe. Bye from Shanghai.